right at the start.
Nice. That's all right. Game update number 13 preview. I'm looking at this. It's essentially a micro update. The code team is hard at work working on the AI. As you guys have seen, there's still issues with the AI. We got to sort some stuff out. Yep. Absolutely imperative. We've been working on the character customizer and other miscellaneous tweaks here and there. And the code team has also been working on dedicated servers. So I went in, audio team fixed some issues with the emitters. So hopefully we get a little bit of performance out of that. I tweaked some stuff in the start areas. I added a few more rock spawners out beyond, so that players venture on beyond the normal start area beaches. You'll find some rocks. I rebalanced Draymar. Boy, are you guys gonna have some fun. Ooh. Oof. I'm excited. Fun. But I'm not going to spoil exactly what I did.
You kind of. Well, no, I guess you haven't actually.
I haven't.
Because I haven't posted that yet, so I will edit your words.
He's pretty vicious now.
He's going to try and suck you dry.
Yeah, he's going to be a very epic skeleton battle. So be wary of that. Let's see, I made some tweaks to the forest giants. So one of the things, watching you guys so elegantly kite the forest giants because their turn radiuses are very slow. Now, it looks very natural the way they're set up in the current build, and it feels good, but from a gameplay standpoint, it does break a lot of things. It makes it really easy to kill them. So I've broken the realism. I've tweaked some of their rotation speeds now, so they'll turn to face you, the target, much quicker. I also increased their health as well. So be on the lookout for that. I fixed a bug with cooked meats or raw meat. They weren't despawning. Also, all pelts now, decayed pelts, bear pelts, wolf pelts, deer pelts, leather pelts, they'll all decay after 40 minutes. So that's phase 2 of the decay system. So again, micro update, not anything major, epic, but you guys will still get an update nonetheless. I'll post it to beta tomorrow. We'll take a quick look at it here on the design side or on our testing side. Again, it was a lot of design changes, not necessarily code changes. So it should be relatively safe to post up to beta without any major issues. So I'm excited. You guys will have an update, though not as juicy as we like to, but we did promise an update and you will get an update. So there's that.
Yep. And
cool.
Well, we're going to run into beta and then it's not going to go immediately live. Right?
Sorry. I'm following you, Crimson the Witch. Yep. That was all right. So anyway, will cartography be an option in the future? Maybe. We have a winner to announce today, don't we? Or should we wait till the end?
I think we should.
Let's wait till the end. All right. Yeah.
Oh my God! Chillax.
I'm out of control. All right, we got winners. We got a game. We got the update out of the way. Let's read some reviews. Because I read reviews every day, as many of you know. I also respond to every review. But we always, we get some good ones. But I'm not going to read them. I'm actually just kidding. But thank you to everybody that submitted a review. Yeah, I'm not. Let me go through each review. Really only going to respond to the ones that have played more than 30 hours. Because, but no. Thanks for all the reviews, guys, positive or negative. Greatly appreciated. So. Well, over the course of July, we got a lot of good things coming. The code team's knocking out some stuff. Hopefully, we'll get this stuff out in the next couple of weeks into testing so you guys can test it, help us work out some bugs, fix the AI stuff that's broken. So, yeah, there we go. So how's that, Chloe? What else we got?
I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? Do you want to give a little bit of conversation about Preview 14? Or... technically, Preview 14. You haven't even thought about Preview 14 yet, have you? Or Update 14?
I'm hoping Preview 14 consists of additional AI updates, tweaks to some of the broken things that you guys are seeing right now, and potentially the character customizer. That would be my ideal scenario, but I don't know. I won't know probably until early next week where we stand with all of that.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yes.
So once I mentioned we're kind of we're moving towards kind of a 2-week update cadence. That works well for us. Micro updates, big updates. Sorry, I get distracted real easy when people walk in. They love drawing me pictures on our whiteboard that's right in front of me. So thank you, Logan, the technician. Logan is in here distracting me. Thanks, Logan. Appreciate it, bud. All right, so. All right, where was I at?
I don't know. I'm addled by the heat and Toy Soldiers reveals over at San Diego Comic-Con and timing. I have no time today. Okay, cool. Cutout in the background.
All right, what's that? Oh,
What's the cutout in the background? Isn't that's from
I
one of
thought
our
I
former
would.
titles, right?
I'm glad somebody noticed. I thought I'd spice things up a little bit. That was from a game we did a while ago called Ascend. It was basically we went to a lot of shows and you could. Well, why don't I show everybody?
God. Yeah, Sean, it does kind of look familiar, doesn't it?
So it was basically a huge not a cardboard, but a huge cutout of one of our main characters, and you could put your head on it and take pictures, and it was really cool. Got the guy with the blade behind me. It looks really neat, like he's about to shiv me if I say the wrong thing. All right, so that's good. All right, so what shall we do today? What do you guys want to do today? You guys want to go kill Hylian? You want to go find Lycor?
I think you should go find some, but I bet you haven't set up your game for it. Go find Spirit Wolves.
No, I'm not at the time of day. We can let the time of day run out. I'll go ahead and get it started right now.
You do that.
I know exactly where they spawn, so I can lead everybody up to that area, and we can kind of hang out until night falls. So why don't I do that? I'm going to host a game, as everybody can see.
And
here.
while you do that, they can't actually yet because it hasn't caught up yet. But while
You know
you do
what
that, I am going to ask a question because it's been asked a couple times, and you keep talking and won't let me answer. Okay,
right.
So Draken, I believe it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draco, pardon me.
Draco.
People who received, he asked, people who received alpha keys, will they be able to keep the game when it is fully released? Yes, Draco, that is absolutely the case. So if you were involved in our alpha and then our early access process, where you received a code from us at some point throughout this whole process, you have a full copy of the game. It is our thank you to you for helping us bug test, suggest features, and other things like that. So, absolutely, if you own a copy of the game already, you own the game when it is fully released.
Win-win.
Indeed.
All right.
I think it's a win.
So let me make sure I'm going to need a torchbearer, so somebody has to come fully stocked with torches and be ready to. It's a huge responsibility when you travel with me. We got to have torchbearers. Luckily, we're on a friendly server, and we can see where everybody's at now, which is super awesome. So nobody should get lost.
Which is a good thing, because while we know that folks who are playing in a regular game, not necessarily on a stream like this, would perhaps like the option in the future when we have dedicated servers to be able to turn names off, because there is a large amount of fun to be had in finding people. When you only have about an hour to stream, it's way better if you can all find each other relatively easily. So hopefully in the future that will be an option that we can actually do with dedicated servers, and the server host will get to choose what it is. And oh my god, that beeping is going to drive me up the wall.
Chloe, you got to plan ahead, girl. You like that?
I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you next week.
Oh, that's right. You're out next week.
I have a long memory. As my ex
Not I.
can tell you. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know. You'll remember.
I am going to be in. Yeah, you don't remember anything.
You'll remember the torture that I put you through. That's great. I like it. This is good.
And yes, I am in the studio next week, so we will have an interesting and think a longer stream next week, right? We had talked about doing some longer.
Yeah, we can do a longer stream next week, and we can also do a longer stream. We won't announce that just yet.
Yes.
We'll wait until we get
other
closer.
Plans for that.
We have other plans. We got plans within plans. It's like we're always planning. Yeah. Randomized user is here. Sweet. Draco 123465. Bomix, Kazer, and Junkie XL. All right, and Waski.
Oh, he does actually have the last two numbers reversed.
All right.
Sorry, Draco. I totally didn't realize that when I said your name earlier. Okay.
So
I have more questions for you, unless you have a thing that you want to say. One sec.
If everybody wants to come and meet in Argo, we'll start here, and then we'll head up to where the forest or where the spirit wolves will spawn. I'll take you. We'll take up there. We got to wait till night falls so we can just kind of hang out, kill stuff, but I'll take you to one of the 4 locations in the world where they spawn.
Cool. May I ask you a question now, sir?
I will allow it. You will be permitted to speak.
So Candor is wondering, are there going to be additional types of ammo for the bow in the future? That wonderful, wonderful longbow that we have.
Yes, I will get to that, guys. I'm sorry, I haven't done it yet. Yes, there will be additional arrow types, and ideally I want a more ornate bow in the game. Corbett is working on a Skunkworks project at the moment, so he has been pulled off to do something that I happen to be working on as well, guys. Something super major awesome. But I haven't been pulled off. I get to work on multiple
You just
projects.
get to, you're like me. You're like, all right, I have less hours now.
Yes, I have. So, yes. Hold on, I got gear, Draco. I got to make sure everybody in my party, guys, that we always have to go fully dressed. We go, we're top hats and suits.
Chris just kind of goes blasting through areas. And it's never good if somebody dies. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Keep moving on.
Yeah, you can't. If we're going to go, Draco, go ahead and take that, buddy. Take it. Take it.
Bear Zypher is asking, was the spawn count of wolves overall raised with the last update or the one previous to that? They seem to be encountering quite a bit more and bigger packs lately.
I made some tweaks. I actually increased some things here, and I reduced some things over near Argo. So yes and no. I'm always constantly fiddling with those numbers, guys. So if you see things go up and down, and in a lot of cases, I don't necessarily always expose that to you because I like to see if you guys notice. And in this particular case, you guys did notice. But I'm always constantly tweaking the spawn rates near the start area because I'm trying to get a good feel. What's happening? What I'm doing in this spawn area, so you guys know, or near Argo, this is kind of what I consider the new player area of the map. This is where everybody goes, and it is by design. You have a place, you got this area. It's relatively it's not incredibly hostile, as many as you know. If you go deeper into the map, there's a lot of it's far more hostile. So I'm constantly trying to fine-tune the spawn rates of creatures in the area to get it just right. And that's me as a designer noodling. I might not need to noodle, but I'm trying to find the right numbers so that it feels good for all players in this area. And then I will kind of make additional changes as we, throughout the rest of the island that makes sense for those areas of the island. So hopefully that answers the question. Somebody has, I forgot to add one thing. Another change I just made today, this morning, the spirit orbs, I added more health, so they will take 4 minutes versus like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to decay now. So they last longer, essentially.
And I go to make a note of that.
I thought I sent an email that had that.
It's not in that email.
I'm
looking at it right now.
It's not in that email. Of course it's not in that email. All right. So we got a lot of cool.
They last for 4 minutes now?
Yeah, they last for 4 minutes, but of course they're not designed to be light sources in the sense that you use them for flashlights. They're primarily there as kind of a quick first aid. They'll cure disease. And I plan to make additional enhancements over to them over time. Looks like Draco there is carrying one of the spirit orbs. They're really cool little items. I had a lot of fun making them. I tweaked the particle effects and whatnot. And I have fun doing those things. I love adding stuff like that. Randomized user. Okay, I think we got everybody. We got enough players. All right, let's. We're gonna head out to one of the locations.
All right.
The best part is nobody gets lost anymore. I'm so excited.
Excuse me. Zane Sting.
Uh-huh.
Or Zane Sting. Sting. I think it's Sting. Is curious as to our current thoughts around the map. And a possibility of, instead of having the top down, which we've said we really don't want to do for previously mentioned reasons, what about the ability to draw or have, a craftable map or something like that in game?
Yeah, a cartography system. I believe the old EverQuest one had a kind of a interesting little cartography system where you could draw out maps. Yeah, it would be kind of cool. Yeah, it's a lot of work to put a system like that in. I'd rather just put in a map that, as you explore, kind of fog of war style, it reveals areas, key areas on the map. I think players would have more fun. Even more fun would be to pepper in chunks or pieces of a map. Oh, those little guys are stuck in the tree. We're working on fixing that, by the way, guys. Would be to pepper in pieces of the map that you assemble over time, and then that way you can assemble kind of a full piece together map of the Sundered Isle. I think that would be a lot of fun, and you got to go to the different areas. Mostly, you got to find, and that would be me peppering in more cool stuff in these areas that you can find, like bits of a map off of skeleton corpse that you found lying up against the tree and stuff. I think players will have a lot more fun with something like that, piecing together the map. You have a half map that has some areas exposed. It could be a lot of fun. But a cartography system would be pretty complicated, and I could, right off the bat, say there are other things I would love to focus on versus building that particular system. But not that it, by the way, not that it's a bad idea. It's actually a pretty complicated idea. That's all.
And well, some of us enjoy the complicated things. We also have to take a look at, we are a small team.
Yep.
And all of our resources are actually split amongst multiple projects with the studio. So we do have to timeshare, as we were talking about a little bit earlier.
Timeshare? I never thought about it like that.
I mean, it is
timeshare
right?
resources.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You only have so many hours in a week, whether you sleep or not.
Yeah. So and then it is right now. We still got a lot of big systems we got to get in place, and making sure that the code team is knocking those out, and they have all the information to knock those out. That's the most important thing right now. And then we can build upon. We can look at some of these other systems and bits of functionality and add over time. So
yeah,
we'll get there. We're like I wish we had 40 guys like the Arc team. Those guys, By the way, Arc is a pretty good game. I wish I could run it. I run it like at 15 frames a second on my i7 with only a GeForce 670. But I think it's a good game. There's some really cool systems. I love their character customizer. It's something we want to aspire to. Our character customizer will fit the UI. It'll be pretty simple, but it will evolve over time. Unreal 4 is a pretty amazing engine.
Yes, and in fact, I believe Osiris actually asked, I believe it was Osiris, and forgive me if it was someone else, as to whether we would ever consider switching engines. Now, I'm not big on engine design, so I think I understand that would be actually exceedingly complicated to do. Like, so it's not an easy thing to do, right?
So if I could hint, I'll say that right now one of my Skunkworks projects is actually an Unreal 4, and I can there every day. I'm like, wow, I wish we would have done this. Savage would look amazing in Unreal 4. There's so many cool things that we could do. It's kind of a pipe dream, but Savage looks really good as it is. But I would love to bring it over to Unreal 4 and make some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I think we could do something absolutely amazing. But bringing over all the things that we've done so far, I mean, it would take a lot of time. And Unreal does not support a lot of the things that we do behind the scenes. Our spawning system, it would take months upon months and of work to get it to where Savage Lands is today. I mean, probably even probably a year. Yeah. But there's a lot of good things, Unreal does that would pay off. So here we are, guys. We're in an area where the spirit wolves spawn. So let's sit back, relax, and let's wait for nightfall. Let's get a fire going.
Phelan, sky deer are not still a thing. They have gone the way of the aqua deer.
Aqua deer? What are you talking about?
You remember what aqua deer were?
Oh, the good old days.
Really? Really? You don't remember that?
Those times were so long ago, Chloe, I forgot.
You realize that was only about 4 months ago, right?
It's dev time. That's like 10 years ago.
I know. Phelan, what it was we actually discovered that there was a spawner around the towers that were spawning creatures and skeletons up on top of the towers. And when they would walk off the tower, they'd walk into midair.
Oh yeah.
So,
well,
we fixed those.
We're gonna look at fixing those. There's some issues with our, how we spawn creatures in. So we're gonna look at. I think John's going to take a look at how we can remedy creatures spawning on top of pillars and the towers. I did some tweaks to the towers, but John has to go in and work some wizardry to make that.
Which is what he is focusing on. Lots of emails back and forth passing information that you guys give us. So thank you very much for all those bug reports. We really, really appreciate it.
Crimson, is it normal for the wolves to spawn where you're standing all the time? No, it's not normal for the wolves to spawn where you're standing all the time based on how the data is set up. So maybe I don't understand the question. Are they spawning on top of you? If so, send me a video or a screenshot so I can see it.
Oh yeah, no, Phelan, we know. It wasn't bad, it was more one of those, how is a deer or any other creature walking in midair?
It's collision and other things.
No,
yes.
We have fixed it, that's all.
Yeah. Yes, Zab.
Go ahead.
I know. Yes, Zab. Zab asked the question, will we be able to keep characters and stuff? We have. Yes. Now, that's not to say that as we move through early access, that saves might get porked. Yep. It's very possible because data changes constantly. And that's kind of the point of early access. But we do our best to maintain the integrity of those save files. But, as Devlin Pixie noted with a particular weapon, in the last update, things get horked. Yep.
Sometimes code conflicts with code.
It's just how it is. So, but we'll do our best to maintain the integrity and make sure that you can carry your stuff over. So when we actually officially release the game for reals, you'll be able to keep all your good stuff. My perfect world.
I mean, we've been pretty lucky with only having one wipe, one official wipe all the way through. We had one update that didn't go super well, but in 4 months, actually 5, considering the wipe happened between closed alpha and the launch of early access. So it was just at the beginning of early access. We've got a very stable game, and then that's because we have the update cadence that we do, where we spend time with beta builds, and you guys report bugs and let us know when something's not right. So if we've got a major problem, we can run another build and put that through beta, and then release the beta build to everybody. So we appreciate that, when you guys have the option to opt into a beta, that you actually do, and are willing to, test with us and explore what we may have gotten wrong. So thank you for that. Anyway, Loading James has asked, are there any plans for base building? Not talking about pre-made buildings here, but something that we can customize with our imagination. Also
so
floors.
kind of freeform base or freeform structure building, much like you find in Rust and Reign of Kings. Is that I'm guessing?
I would guess too.
What we'd like to do is experiment with the structure system that we have. I'd like to find a way to make, or I'm not find a way. I have a design. I have a few designs on how we can make the structures more interesting for the players and give them more functionality. Freeform building is a really cool concept. I don't necessarily want to copy what the other guys have done. It's a cool thing, but it doesn't make sense for a game. I think we can make some really cool, really fun structure, a structure system, base system, with templates that's easy for players, both advanced and new players, to understand. But the key is giving you guys functionality and building your towns and your civilizations that you want certain types of structures that do certain types of things when you're building out your communities. So right now we don't have that, but that's something I want to do. Each structure varies, and you have X number of structures of this type, X number of structures of that type. I think we can do something a lot of fun, very cool, fun, interesting with the system that we have. But we gotta get that system in first, and then see where we can go from there.
Yep, sounds good.
All right.
All right. So while we're waiting.
We're waiting for night to fall, guys. So if anybody's like, well, why are they just standing around? I'm actually moving the party a little bit because I want to make sure that we are in a maximum spawn position for the Spirit Wolves. As Randomized User pointed out, I realized we're right on the cusp of where that village was, where the Spirit Wolves will spawn. I'm kind of a weirdo, but I can actually visualize all the spawners based on where I'm at right now. So we're right on the edge of where the Spirit Wolves will spawn. So I'm going to move the guys a bit inwards. We're going to move in a little bit more towards the tower. So let me see here. Where's Curse Tower? Where's that tower? So there's a tower off to our right here. So I'm going to move along. There's like a hill. There's a range here, high point, that I'm going to move across. All right. So anyway, go, Chloe.
All right. So your next question.
Sweet.
So what about floors and or terraforming? Where
I want to get terraforming in. I mean, we could add floors, but I still fully believe, and it's been, even internally it's been brought up, that floors would not fix the issue with structures sitting right on hills. We need terraforming, and even if it's, and we determine the best, if you're at like a 45-degree slope, then you're not going to be able to build. But I think there's ways that we can get it to sit just right. And it could be a combination of floors with terraforming to make everything feel good. So, yes, I want to get terraforming in. But again, I don't have 40 guys. We'll get there.
We're working on it.
I would love to have 40 guys. We need to sell a few more copies to have 40
guys.
Just
a few.
But we're working hard to get in a lot of features that really overall improve gameplay. So I know I mentioned it in a lot of reviews that I post. Just hang in there, guys. I'm adding, especially you old timers. You guys are probably like, I know you've seen a lot of stuff, and you guys have seen the world greatly evolve. So for you new players, I mean, these old guys could tell you, when I first started playing Savage Lands, there were no ruins in the water. There were no, the ruins of Khal Sul didn't even exist. You couldn't even, as Randomized User would say, you couldn't even go through the arch.
But I'm more of a fan of the fact that back then you couldn't actually relight fires.
Yeah. Well, we could even relight campfires. That was an oversight on our part. That was terrible. All right, so we're getting into a
fires could expire, but you couldn't do anything with them. You could stack them.
Yeah, we're in a good spot now, guys. So here we are. This area is where the wolves. All right, hold on. And I bet you nobody knew this. Wolves will spawn. I got to type this in. I'm sure everybody's watching this stream as well.
Celtic Tears, or Tactics, my bad. I swear I can read. Our team is about 7 people, and has been about that size since we started.
So we're
equally split, I guess. If you count me as number 7, we're equally split between design and code. And by design, that includes Chris, who actually does like the design and puts content in, as well as Corbett, and who is our art guy, artist, I guess, lead artist.
Corbett's the lead. He manages everything that you see in the world, minus the trees and the grass. Corbett has created every prop, every object when it comes to the houses, the items, the weapons. He's done all the character. He's he's done all the armor. He's done all the creatures. I mean, Corbett did Kerr in combination with our animator. He's done all the towers. I mean, he's done. The only thing he didn't really have a part in was the trees and the general foliage that you see in the world. But he's created pretty much everything else. Everything that you're playing, the weapons, he's done. He's created all the icons. I mean, Corbett's he's a machine, and we're gonna get him on here.
I'm gonna make him come on next week.
He's shy. He's very shy. I actually brought it up to him. Hey, Corbett, do a stream. He's like, no.
Like, we tried to get him in on when we first went into early access, and he was like, "No, I'll watch through the door, but I don't want to come on."
Yeah, I don't want to come on. We'll get him on, and he can. Maybe I'll have him do a show off all the cool stuff that he's working on and how he gets stuff into the game. I think it would be pretty cool.
I think we also need to update Maya for next week, because I know there's some stuff that people would like to see for that if we're going to do a longer stream.
He's a great artist, and he's done an amazing amount of work over the course of the project, and he has to put up with me, which is a chore all in itself, by the way, guys. Because as a game director, as a designer,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm constantly always in a flux. It would be cool if we did this, and he's like, "Yeah, it would be cool. That's a lot of work."
Crimson, yes, that's actually exactly how Corbett talks. He is very deadpan. He's a good guy. He is, but
he does mess with me though. I actually. So we have a great team. We have a great team of people that work on the project, and Savage is. It's a good, we're hitting, as we move forward, we're hitting all the core pillars, we're hitting all the features and functionality and the overall vision of the game. It's just, it's one of those things. I mentioned to people that the game is in alpha, and what you see when we talk about alpha, I know a lot of people are like, well, it's not stable. Well, it's not going to be stable because it's early access. Early access means we're still...
But that's not entirely fair, because the game itself is stable. Well, I would say it's unbalanced at times.
I would disagree. As the designer that balances stuff, I would disagree with you, Chloe.
Oh, that's fair. we are allowed to disagree.
So I would, the code team has done a great job of making a stable product. Not to say that it could be better, absolutely, but compared to other early access games that I've played, maybe you guys have played. They've done a really good job of making it so that you can at least launch the game, play it to some degree. There are optimization issues we're working through. It's hard to test every configuration of every PC out there with every video card type. I mean, that's just insanity. But we do the best we can, especially on the Mac. Oh, I'm starving. Especially with the Mac and SteamOS. So. But, we've done a great job, and the game is coming together as we visualize it. It's just one of those things that's going to take time. But when you see a game in early access, that means it's alpha. And I've mentioned this in other streams. Alpha, if I was to go back a decade, back to the late 90s, early 2000s, early 2000, we would never show the public a game in alpha, ever. There would not even remotely close. You would hear executives at all levels being, there's no way. And even they didn't even like to see the game in alpha. But in this day and age, with early access, it gives us the opportunity to work with the fans, the players, get the game out there, see if the idea resonates, change the idea, mold the idea into something that does resonate with the fans. And that's what we're doing with Savage. We got it out there. I think we have a really cool concept. And we're continuing to mold it based on what you guys, the players, want, coupled with some of the things we want to do as developers. So, it does put a lot of pressure on us to make a game that is functional. I think that's pretty cool. I actually like that because it keeps us honest when making the game. Because developers are, really shady. We're shady.
All right, so while we're waiting, I'm going to do a quick... Well, you're almost.
Are we going to do a giveaway?
Yes, that's
why.
Right. I thought people might want to possibly win a copy of the game. Crazy me. All right, Waiting for Dark, and it is the number 4.
It's getting there.
Not FOR.
The sun is going through a transition state. It's going.
It's chugging. Well, this is my point. So instead of Waiting for Godot, it's Waiting number 4. Which is totally backwards for you. Waiting for Dark. All one word, no spaces. No spaces, no spaces, no spaces, no capitals. Waiting for Dark is the entry phrase, I guess. And to let you guys know that it is a little bit better for if you are following us on this channel, so your chances are minutely higher. I don't know how much higher, but they're still minutely higher. So if you're interested in that, just to let you go. Dun, 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 dun.
I wish, you know what I wish we had right now? A bard. Sing us songs, set up a campfire, tell us tales.
Well, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to get the gremlin out of the voiceover IP. I'm just saying.
We have, by the way, speaking of gremlin, Chloe, we do have the forest gremlin. I'm going to hopefully start tweaking him and getting him into the game by next week. Yay. So when we do our big, our next update, our big update, the forest gremlin will be there. Now he's kind of mostly there. Some of the things that we want to do AI wise
hasn't been put in yet.
It's pretty difficult to do. So we had to weigh things out, get them in functional versus adding in all this cool personality, which we'll add in time. But we'll get him in. It'll be super awesome. But at least he'll be there. We'll have 5 different types, and I'm going to spread them across the island so that you'll run into them. They're going to have basic drops initially, but I will start adding unique drops to those types of gremlins over time. So you'll have to travel across the island to get different components from the different gremlin tribes to build cool stuff.
All right. So I'm going to ask another question.
I love this. It's like we're a bunch of mercenaries waiting for things to spawn so we can spill the blood of the spirit wolves. But spirit wolves don't necessarily have blood, but just saying. It's kind of cool. All
right. So while I'm picking my winners, I'm going to answer Phelan's question, which is no, Chris hasn't snuck up behind me since the last stream because I'm in Canada and he can't do that to me up here. Because
no, it's against the law.
Chris, well,
it's in Canada.
You'd have to sneak into my house and that's creepy. And
that would be pretty creepy. I agree with you.
Creepy. I don't think I agree with that.
It's like, Chris, what are you doing here in Canada?
In my condo. It's not 4 hours away. From where the studio is, I've done this drive so many times. From where the studio is to my door is, assuming no border shenanigans, because I don't have a Nexus card, which I'm going to get this year. But assuming no shenanigans, it's a 2.5-hour drive.
Yeah,
actually,
it's
not that bad.
It's a long drive, and I'm a developer, so I'm lazy.
If I'm on the bus, which is how I normally get down there now, then it's 4 to 5 hours. Again, not including the border time.
I love her voiceover IP.
It's Gremlins. It's Gremlins all the way down.
Yeah, it needs a little work.
Just a little.
It works. I mean, you can communicate, but it does.
Well, it emits noise. I think inherent to communication is the ability to understand.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's truly part of the definition.
One of the guys is speaking right now in VoIP. It's like this bad auto tune. Yeah. All right. So anyway, enough hanging out. We're gonna go and kill some. The spirit wolves should hopefully will spawn. They're rare spawns, by the way. I'm just taking you to one of the locations. And this is actually, not a lot of people know it, there are 4 locations on the map, and one of those locations happens to be close to Kerr. But a lot of people are like, well, you got to go to the other side of the island. Yeah, they actually spawn more frequently on the other side of the island. Oh, come on, really?
What did you do?
There was a wolf that aggroed on me. So I get all annoyed when I get aggroed. It's like, come on.
Why?
Because I don't like being messed with.
All right, so while you're running to find a spirit wolf,
no,
I'm going to say that, no, winners.
Yeah, let's do the winners.
Okay.
Watch out for the character behind me. He's going to shiv me.
Yeah, but you're unfriendly, so it doesn't matter.
What? I'm unfriendly.
So
I'm like
congratulations to Spectrum, Bear Zypher, Miss Krant, Loading James, and Dogman16, you guys. Please make sure that you message me after the stream is over, and I will send you guys your winning codes. And those codes are yours to do with what you will. You can send them to a friend if you stream, and we hope that you do, or if you do YouTube videos, and again, we hope that you do. Let us know, because we love seeing them, and you can give them away to your viewers or to your subscribers. However you want to do it, it is your code if you already have one. So you can do with it what you'd like. All right. And So, and it is Dev in chat for you.
All right. We need shields. Yes, I agree. We need shields. All right.
Shields and the ability to block, which hopefully will come with the shields, right?
It's so Salty Tactics just posted up a question. Are there dungeons or is it mostly survival PvP focus? So there are no dungeons yet. I would love to have dungeons. It is mostly focused on survival and a lot of cool stuff. Fantasy, co-op play. But the PvP aspect, you can set up your server right now if you want to be PvP or if you want to be friendly. It's up to you, or you can play offline. We give you 3 different choices. We do have dedicated servers in the works, so when that time comes, you'll be able to set up your server. So if you want a dedicated PvP, you can do that. Cool thing about PvP, when you kill other players, you can take their heads, put them on pikes, which I like a lot. And then ideally in time, I'd like to add leaderboards and lots of cool stuff for PvP. But it's not like other survival games where they're server-focused PvP only. Because we're fantasy, the whole design idea was to make a co-op experience, PvP experience. That's entirely up to you, the player.
Yeah. Okay, so more questions.
Yes, and I am holding one of the most epic weapons in the game right now, Sally. Flesh Ripper.
Well, I was going to say, on my stream, you're holding a piece of meat, which is not the most epic.
Come on, that was bear meat. Nonetheless.
Well, I can't, it hasn't caught up yet. I can't.
You're 50, I forgot, you're 15 seconds behind.
At the minimum,
All right, everybody. Stay frosty.
All right, so, questions. How do you feel about farming and potion?
I don't feel at all.
You don't feel at all?
No emotion.
I'd actually say Logan doesn't feel more so than you do.
No, Logan feels a lot. I love Logan. Logan's one of the best producers I know. So, anyway, I love Logan. Logan does tons of stuff for me. So, how do I feel about... like that? That was good, huh?
Farming? Let's talk about farming first.
How do you farm in a world that has been decimated, that is frozen? So let me throw that in here.
There are frost berries and tree nuts.
Yeah, but those are that's foliage that is adapted to the world. Now, you don't necessarily grow in Sundered cotton, by the way, because cotton grows in cold environments. So, but that has been adapted. Yeah, I would love to have farming in the game. I'd love to give... Hey, hold on. Somebody started a bonfire. So I would love to have farming in the game. I would love for players to be able to set up their community as farm. I would also, when we set up the types of things, that you could potentially plant and harvest, it would have to make sense fictionally for the world.
Right.
I mean, in many ways, we're living in a nuclear winter that Kerr created. So the world is frozen, it's cold. What can you really harvest? What can you cultivate as a farmer in this world? These are things I would have to, figure out as a designer for
well,
the project.
And to be fair, to sort of enlarge the conversation, one of the things that has been pointed out on the Trello board, which
yes,
if you guys, if one of you guys, if you've never been to our Trello board, this is a place where we have a whole bunch of different suggestions that you guys have made over the course of our early access path or period of time so far, and each of those individual suggestions, you can vote on them, you can also have conversation about them as to how you would like to see them implemented in the game. And one of the things that has been discussed is that it's not necessarily I'm going to plant corn or wheat in the world, but the ability to, regrow a sundered cotton plant in a particular area. The concept of you get the seeds and you plant those. So not necessarily adding new crops, although we have talked about some different ones that we'd like to eventually see. But the ability to, if you wanted to build a settlement somewhere, without having to constantly go out and find other things. That's, I think, more what they're talking about when it comes to farming. So it's not necessarily the addition of, but growing stuff that we already have.
So Spectrum 13 asked the question, it would be really good, or didn't ask the question, but noted that it would be really good if we could mod the game. You could mod the game. That's entirely up to you. We just don't officially support it.
Yeah.
What could happen is that because we do frequent updates, you will have to frequently update your mods in that situation. So we don't support it because it, in general, I mean, just at a high level, it does break the integrity of the experience. But I'm not going to shun you for doing it. If you create something cool, great, and people love it, great. I believe in the modding community. People love to enhance the experience in certain ways, and I think that's great. But at the same time, we cannot officially support you because there is an experience as developers and as publisher that we are creating for fans, for the greater whole. So, but at the same time, I just remember I gave you the thumbs up, but I can't officially, we won't say, hey, yeah. It's a lot of work on our part to officially support mods, because then we got to validate the integrity of those mods. We got to validate the integrity of our saves, and
there's still too much basic stuff going in that would potentially get reversed every time we update it. I mean, it's not logical at this point in our process. I mean,
things are going to break, and but I fully support those individuals with the talent and experience that want to make some really cool stuff, leveraging the work that we've done. Hey, if you make something amazing, great, and it helps. Yep. If you make the Savage experience better, I'm all for you. If you have a great idea and you explore that with a mod and it makes sense, then great. We'll talk and we can integrate it into the game long term. I'm not one to say that, for example, as a designer, my idea is it's my way or the highway. Not at all. I believe in the grand scheme of things, you guys are all smarter than I am. So. So.
No comment. Actually, I'm not going to touch that one with an input. Well, nope. Now, Ramus and one or two others did ask earlier. Do you remember off the top of your head in the loot drop table for the Undead Furies? Do they still drop the chest piece?
Yes, they should. It's just a rare drop.
Would you say that it's the rarest item that they'll drop?
Yes.
Cool. So yes, folks, it is still in there. That I know it had been, I don't know whether it was this particular update. I think it was actually somebody noted it saying I hadn't seen it in a really long time, but it's still in there.
Yeah, hey, Osiris, if you're trying to recreate Kerr's model, man, more power to you. I'd love to see it. If you got something, send me a video. Love seeing that stuff. So
absolutely.
We're friends. You know where to reach me, buddy. It's good to see Potato. Potato was pinging me all morning. Are you going to be hosting a server? I got to get in. So welcome, Potato. We're waiting for Spirit Wolves. They spawn in this location. Kerr is doing Kerr's thing over by the tower. Please don't aggro him.
Speaking of which, did you actually remember to tone down his aggro?
No,
we did talk about that last week.
Yeah, we did talk about that. And in truth, I actually thought I did not do it.
You forgot about it, didn't you?
I forgot about it, you guys. I actually sadly forgot about it.
Perhaps for the one tomorrow?
14?
Yeah. Or 14.
Not for tomorrow. I already have the already have the build set aside that I have to test. So, okay. But maybe for build 14. I am very sorry about that. As your design director, game director, I screwed up. I told you I was going to do something and I didn't do it. I blame Chloe for not reminding me. If I had a producer, the producer would have reminded me and said, Chris, where are we at with this?
Yeah, see, funny enough, I'm not actually a producer.
Chris, you said you were going to do this.
I'm a community manager.
As the game director, that is the producer, designer, scheduler guy, community guy. Yeah, sometimes I miss things. I'm sorry, guys. We'll take a look at that. I will take note.
I'll send you an email.
Hold on. I'm making note now.
Are you actually? Seriously? Are you actually?
Sticky note. So, look at Kerr's aggro time. I got it. All right, we're good.
All right, good. Now I'm going to actually email you this week and be like, did you actually go do this? Okay, cool. You're not seeing any spirit wolves.
Well, they're rare. I mean, that's what people don't realize. Spirit wolves are rare. Meanwhile, Draymar is spawning every 2 minutes, which I don't understand because he's actually supposed to be rarer than the spirit wolves.
I think you need to flip those values.
There's no flipping. I mean, Draymar is actually he's a rare spawn, but he spawns in 2 locations. Randomized user happens to have built on top of one of those locations. Which is funny. I found that funny when I saw the video. I'm like, oh, look at that. Randomized user is he's just set.
Did you see Jamie's most recent?
I haven't seen the most recent one.
Well, you should. It puts Savage Lands into a very different light.
Positive?
I will leave it to you to go check it out. It's made in Minecraft. We'll just put it that way.
Oh. Okay, check it out. That's awesome.
It is. And Jamie did a fantastic job with it. And I think the best part is definitely how the video ends. So make sure you watch. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely head over to Randomized User's YouTube channel, which I had a link for and I've lost, and check out his, I want to say it's video 23. Randomized, tell me if that's right. Sorry if it's wrong. It might be 24, but it's funny. We did send a message about it earlier this week if you guys caught that. So anyway.
I'm not going to make any claims that a wolf will spawn because apparently they're incredibly rare. But I know, believe me, I know the locations. I know exactly where everything spawns, and this is one of those locations. But everybody in the stream right now, guys, build away. Look for things to kill. I would recommend if you see something, kill it, because the way I'm not going to go into detail how our spawner system works, but just kill everything you see. And
it encourages things to spawn, right?
There you go, Chloe.
Apologies. It was episode 26. Gosh, I can't believe you're up on 26 right now.
I think Chloe and I need to do a 24-hour stream. That would be awesome.
Are we doing that next week?
No.
Or do you want to wait until the? Do you want?
I gotta mentally prep myself or something like that, Chloe.
Oh,
you forget I'm old. I go to sleep at 9 p.m.
Well, you can just take shifts. I'll do the 24 hours, and you occasionally get poked awake, and I'll hop on or poke you awake and run to the bathroom.
That's right. So, what are you doing, Chris? Oh, we're playing Savage, but it looks like you're playing League of Legends. What the heck is going on? All right, so let's take a look at questions here. Everybody else is building, and I know it's like, well, this is really uneventful. Sorry, guys. When you want to get a rare spawn, you have to kind of wait it out. Old MMO RPG style.
Or something like that.
Something like that. So anyway.
See, in this case, this is where having a mount would be super useful because you could just be, everybody could be riding laps looking for them.
So Savage Lands in Minecraft, Devlin Pixie posted up a link. Can you guys send me that in email? I want to watch that.
Yes, I will.
All right, thanks again for the stream. Hey, Zab, we're not done yet. We're hanging out. I'm going to give it 15 more minutes. You know, let's work together as a community. Let's build an epic town. Right from Kerr.
Crimson, the idea of a wagon or a sled of some sort has been suggested. Especially it would be useful, you know, if you had like a sled for, say, log transportation. That would be nice. Yeah, although it would also be really nice to, I don't know, be able to stack logs somewhere.
What we should do, Chloe, based on Osiris here kind of poking at us, is announce the contest winner.
Oh, we could do that. Are you announcing or am I announcing? I mean, you picked, so it's up to you.
Hold on, let me bring up.
I have it open in front of me, which might make it easier for me to do it, because you probably have no idea where that email is.
Okay, no, I got, Chloe, you make it sound like I'm totally designer unorganized. I am fully organized here. Hold on. I just have to bring it up on my tricorder. All right. No. Yes. Can I announce it, Chloe?
Yes, you can.
Are you guys ready? So keep in mind there were a lot of good submissions, by the way, and even the president of Signal Studios submitted the name for the weapon. So that goes to give you an idea of how people, you know, he was really excited. Like
I spit my tea out when I saw his name.
And I actually had to verify with him. I'm like, you submitted this, right? With the description, which Chloe, it was pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people, you guys submitted some great names, and you know, again, you know, I try to pick something that I think fits within the world, you know, that feels. I don't like to go too far one way. You know, I do like mythology and a lot of cool stuff, but at the same time, I also like really crazy, fun, simple, fantastical names. But I wanted something that would kind of fit this particular weapon. So. The winner, or actually the name of the weapon that was submitted to us was the Sundered Oathbreaker. Or, I'm sorry, Oathblade. Sorry. Golly, I'm just terrible. The Sundered Oathblade. And that was, and the winner of that is Arcane Stone. Yeah, very easy for Chloe and I to say. Thank you for that.
We appreciate that.
A lot of good backstory behind the weapon, which, by the way, when I read a lot of backstory and when somebody puts a lot of passion, there was a couple others that I got to say you guys put a lot of heart and soul into the description of those weapons and where they came from. The backstory fit where I would like to take, you know, where I would go with this. So, but in general, you guys have done a great stuff. So it was the Sundered Oathblade, and that was Arcane Stone. So I will make the changes. It will not be in game update 13, but it will be in game update 14. Okay? And I'll also make sure that you get a special thanks in the credit. The credits of the game once we get those in. Chloe will keep track of all this so that once we get those credits in, you guys will, you know, previous winner from the past for the Befallen Tower, Court Azul. Everybody will get recognition.
And,
so thank you.
Gamelar's Watch, which is
yes.
Gamelar?
Thank you. Gamelar's Watch, which will actually be the name of one of the port towns that we put into the game in time. So thank you guys very much. That was really cool. Great backstory, and I appreciate you. You know, it's a way for you guys to contribute to the overall experience.
Yep.
So,
and we have, I actually have the blog prepped, so now that I know who's won, I can actually slide that in there. So so you guys can actually go and check out all the different options. I actually thought it was really neat that there were a couple people who picked the same name. I don't know if you actually
I
thought it was kind of neat. Does the winner get the blade auto added to his or her gear?
Sure, absolutely. You work with Chloe, and I will set up a special time that we can meet, and I will give you the weapon.
I will.
I think that's fair.
I'll reach out to all the winners.
Yeah,
and grab email addresses.
Uh-oh. Their cur just flew by. Hold on, I'm watching to see if he's going to...
You may have to go running.
Hold on. Nice! Swing it back around. You guys, what did you do? I'm out of here.
Osiris, once you actually
he landed.
At the when you look at the backstory, which Chris did not read.
What do you mean I did not read?
You didn't read his backstory.
I didn't read it off in the stream. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Osiris was saying it's an unusual name, but the backstory that was submitted, which is probably very similar, although we may have to trim it down for space, because I'm not sure of the character limitation in the journal. It actually makes sense with that, and actually, I like backstory.
It worked, and you guys have done a lot of great stuff. I mean, all the submissions I saw were really cool. I'm not gonna I spent 2 hours going back and forth over those names, guys, and then a lot of it comes down to what I think works within the fiction, or the fiction that I'd like to see over time and lore, and this felt like a good name. So it was I spent 2 hours, a lot of time, going back and forth over these names on what would work, and I left my desk, came back after about 15 minutes because I went and played Asteroids so I could clear my mind. Came back and looked at the names again. So this is what I've been doing. I've done this over the last couple of days. So thank you. Right. A lot of cool stuff. So hopefully, I haven't seen any Spirit Wolves. Whatever designer set this up is just total jerk. Doesn't know how to make games.
They're probably in the other 3 locations.
Of course, I'm sitting here going,
Chris. They're laughing.
No, I have no doubt that they're laughing at me. And meanwhile, it's like Draymar's spawning like every 2 seconds. It's like, this doesn't make any sense to me. What is this madness? I don't understand. We're sitting in the. By the way, we're sitting in the middle of where the Spirit Wolves spawn. You cannot get in a better spot than right where we're at, and they're not spawning. So, yes, guys, it was a very eventful day in the Sundered Isle as we watched Kerr on the Dragon Tower. Many people here hanging out. God loves cake, Draco, Potato, Wasky, Junkie, and Boomix. Uh-oh.
What are you doing now?
Potato says he thinks he sees one. Ooh. Let's follow Potato.
Potentially.
You can't really miss them because they're white and they glow, so...
I mean, to be fair, that's actually probably one of the reasons why Draymar is now so readily found.
I'm trying to think of Potato because my settings are... I'm running at max.
I'm sorry, did you just say I'm trying to think like a potato?
No, I'm trying to... Lead the way, Potato. We'll follow you into darkness.
Okay, so while Chris is blindly running after a potato...
Where's the Spirit Wolf? I know they're here! It's like... that's a great thing I love about working as a group. It's like, especially building the game and playing it, you're like, oh yeah, where are they at? I have no idea. Let's go get them.
I think I'm going to do another giveaway for those who are still sticking around with us, and that is going to be keywords. Well, key phrase, I guess, is follow the potato. All one phrase.
Follow the potato.
I hope I spelled potato right. Yeah, according to chat, I have.
I'm potato.
Ramus, we know that he hasn't messed up the spawn because we haven't released another build for him to mess up the spawn in.
No, I'm seriously, guys. I don't. When I rarely. The way the spawners are set up in the world, Argo is really the one area. If you look at Argo as a quadrant, with the tower, that's really the one area that I muck with the most.
Yeah.
And things like the spirit wolves, I know where they spawn. I know exactly where they spawn because all the other wolves spawn in huge packs in those areas. So I don't muck with those things often. But Argo, yes. And that, if you were to think of the start area as my just tweaking ground, that's where I play with a lot of things. So Argo, anything between the 3 pillars and the pillars that are leaning. I think I've showed you guys those before in the past.
Yep.
That's my area that I really tweak and tune and play with and muck with things.
Yep.
And I do that because we are in alpha, we are early access, and I like to experiment with things to see how the game plays. I try to make it, I want to make a very, hold on. Uh-oh. I think, oh no, that's just a fire. I thought it was peeking through the leaves was a faint hue of light, and I thought it was a spirit wolf, but instead it was a fire. Nothing more.
Nothing less.
Nothing less.
Hey, you know what? Fires in Savage Lands are actually kind of important because, of course, you know, cold. But for those of you who may have just picked up the game very recently or just joining us for the first time, if you find yourself stuck in the middle of the night and you don't have enough materials to make a fire, a great alternative is to very quickly light a torch and then set a tree on fire. Although, make sure that you are not standing directly up against the tree because you will burn yourself.
You will die if you're standing up against a tree that is burning intensely. Mm-hmm. There is a chance of death.
But it is a good way. It's far less death-inducing than, say, running into the path of curse fire, which will also immediately warm you up. But then you have a dragon aggroed on you, and that's probably a really bad idea.
Yeah. I'm just reminding me of my youth jumping through fire. Bonfire. Alright, so anyway.
That's not good. We don't recommend that you jump through a bonfire.
No, we don't encourage those things. Those are silly, stupid.
Bad idea.
Bad thing. You can do it in the game.
Nope,
because you can create a pike of resurrection, but in real life, you don't really create pikes of resurrection.
Well, that would be bad.
They don't exist.
Well, I mean, you could at least create a pike of victory, but I'm a little concerned if you have a bunch of pikes of victory, you know, outside your house.
Yeah, if it was the Middle Ages, I would have tons of pikes of victory. Maybe. Just saying. Just saying. Game of Thrones style. I'd also have a dragon too, but
no comment. All right, guys. I'm gonna pick my winners.
Pick your winners.
I'm gonna pick my winners. And I think then we are.
Thank you, Faye.
Yes, we do not condone playing with fire.
All right. So, well, this was looks like the it's like. Sorry, guys, we went snipe hunting. Yeah, that was. This didn't pan out exactly as I'd hoped. Man, okay. I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm kind of irked right now, so I'm gonna go make a tweak to this area. I'm a little upset.
See, this is how game development is done.
This
game
didn't
director
work
can't find something or can't get something to work, so he goes and mucks with it.
I'm gonna go tweak it a little. Just you know, tweak.
Just increase a number, maybe.
So there's a great GIF right there. Tweak. You'll see in about 10 seconds, Chloe.
I might see because I have you partially off screen. All right. So.
Story of my life.
All right. Can I announce?
You may.
All right. So congratulations to without Chris talking over me.
Oh, they found one and killed it. They didn't even invite me to kill it.
Well, you fail.
Typical designer. Doesn't even know what he does.
Nope.
All right.
Okay, so my winners are, well, our winners are Salty Tactics, Thanatar 16, Lucifer 9925, Orion 67200, so 67200. I can talk. And last but not least, Penguin Knot 83. or Penguin, Penguinaut, yeah. And Penguin, you have the most adorable icon. I want it. It's literally a penguin in a astronaut's spacesuit, and it's awesome. So congratulations to you guys, and
congrats, guys.
Yeah, make sure you message us, and I will give you your code once we wrap up. Which I think
we're getting close. Is it 2:15?
It is, in fact, exactly 2:15.
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up. They killed one spirit wolf, but for anybody out there, you know, just so anybody knows, spirit wolves do not spawn far from Kerr's Tower. They're up on the highest area. If you were to make your way up, like I said, there are 4 points on the island that these spawn. If you were to go further towards the back, towards the Tower of Court Azul, you will get more spawns. But in this area, they do spawn, which is just right around the corner from the tower. So they're there. They spawn. They spawn at night. Godspeed. And I'm going to go make some tweaks. So let's wrap this up, Chloe.
All right. Am I starting with the wrap, or are you starting with the wrap?
Well, you know me. It takes me about 20 minutes. So why don't you go ahead and start?
So by the time I'm done, maybe Chris might actually have his thoughts together on the end. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your if you're new, we appreciate you checking us out. If you have been around since the beginning and any time in between, thank you so much for joining us and for continuing to give us your support and your feedback and your bug reports. We may not always be able to reply directly to you in the forums, but we definitely read everything. I literally mean that, where I read every post that gets made in a week. Spend a lot of time reading and correlating, and I pass all of that feedback, all the bug reports, all the suggestions that you guys make on the forums or on our Trello board over to the design and code teams, and we sort through it all. I guess I actually pre-sort it. They just read the condensed versions. And that is how we make this game better. That is how we improve things. That's how we indicate to Chris that he needs to go muck with things. And we should totally unmuck the decayed pelts. I want more of my decayed pelts back. Anyway, so you can find us on Steam. You can find us on our official website at savagelandsgame.com. You can find us on Twitter and on Facebook, respectfully, at savagelandsgame or facebook.com/savagelandsgame. You can tell what our naming convention is. If you have missed part of today's stream or need to catch up on our playlist, we have one of those for you. We almost always annotate every dev stream that we do, where we highlight key important facts, things about the updates or the questions that you guys have asked throughout the stream, and that is on the Signal Studios YouTube, which is Signal Studios Game over on YouTube, and we always post that up. Trello board is the best place for you to vote and discuss the suggestions that you'd like to see us add. So feature discussion, which we talked about a little bit earlier, and I know Moobot is about to post that in the chat. And finally, last but not least, from me is our wiki. We have some incredibly dedicated mods, Sean and Dev, who are constantly working on that. And we're even getting it translated into different languages, and that's all work that is done by you guys in our community. I believe we have work being done on the Russian side, and there was some interest on the German side. So if you haven't checked out the wiki and you want to find out more backstory, all of the things that has ever been said in a stream or in game is all compiled in that on the wiki. So if you're curious about Lycor and you don't know very much about him because the journal only has a little snippet, you can actually go and check out other stuff there on the wiki. So I highly encourage you to do so. And other than that, please make sure you follow us here on Twitch. It helps, gives you a better chance for winning stuff with us in the future. Plus, then you get to know when we actually go live. And if you haven't, also consider giving us a follow on Steam, because we do not spam you. But when we post announcements about streams or updates, you will get a pop-up in your Steam browser that will let you know when we've updated. So we try to update about once a month. Teehee, once a week, and of course do the actual big pushes now just about every 2 weeks. So please follow.
Please follow. That was really long, Chloe.
No, that's about normal. Nice try. That was so not.
I love streaming, by the way. I can stream all the time. I do enjoy streaming. So anyway, can I go, Chloe? Am I allowed?
Yep.
First off, I want to throw out. We have here at Signal Studios. We have a new game that we're working on, Toy Soldiers War Chest. If you guys are familiar, this is the game that helped kind of make this studio. It's a fantastic game. It's amazing. It's one of the best tower defense games out there. Tower defense meets action. It's really cool. And with War Chest, we've gone hardcore. He-Man, G.I. Joe. I want to throw out there, I don't work on War Chest directly. I know, I work with the designers that do. You guys should check it out. At least watch the videos, check it out. It may be something that you're into. But I want to give high props to that team. They've been crunching overtime to get it out and getting ready. We're getting close, Chloe.
I know. Close. We just announced the last 2 armies today at San Diego Comic-Con.
So I do want to give a shout out to those guys. They've done an amazing job. And if you're into tower defense, you love those types of games, you're a big Signal Studios follower, please check out Toy Soldiers War Chest. It's something I really believe you'll like, you'll dig. It's a cool concept. If you want to take a break from Savage Lands. So with that, now we'll move into, hold on, let me get out the soapbox. I know Chloe's going to be like, oh, gosh, here we go. Like, we only got 5 minutes. So anyway, everybody, I want to say thank you for coming out to our stream, for everybody that joined my band of merry men. We got one Spirit Wolf tonight, but there will be many more to come. I want to thank Draco, Potato, Wasty, Corpse, Dartros, who obviously joined late, and Boomix, everybody that joined our server today. Thank you guys very much for coming. Appreciate you. We had a torchbearer, which was awesome. Kerr didn't bother us, which is super cool.
Always a good thing.
Always a great thing. We have another patch in the works. We thank you for the support. Thank you for the feedback. I know we're kind of a ragtag band. It's like Battlestar Galactica style. This is what I love about indie dev. We're just kind of this group making games that's super awesome. But I do thank you greatly for your support in Savage Lands. I appreciate your feedback. For those of you that have friended me, I do love talking with you, Osiris. Love the voiceover work that you do. Devlin, Pixie, Sean, thank you for all the modding work. Chloe, thank you for the community stuff you do.
I hope you're not expecting me to thank you for designing the game.
You got right. No. That's my job. I got work to do. So, but I thank everybody for for supporting us and helping make a great experience. I know we got a lot of work to do. I know that there's a lot of features that we got to get in, but we'll get there. We will definitely get there. We will make a great game over time, but it's very important to note that we appreciate the support. It's an ongoing thing. It's going to take it's going to take time, but nonetheless, as many of you know, I love this early access thing. You're not getting a polished game. You're getting a game at the most. It's like getting this diamond that you eventually we got to shape and we got to cut. And with your help, we will make it something perfect. So everybody out there, thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to make something great. Micro update next week. Game update number 13. Ooh, 13. It's a small update. Game update 14 will hopefully be more substantial, which I'm sure it will be with AI fixes and all sorts of other cool things. But beta will hopefully go out tomorrow. I don't think there's any reason why it can't go out tomorrow. As many of you know, with the beta, try at your own risk. We cannot guarantee that things will work after you try it, but we do appreciate the feedback and testing. It's very important, especially for the overall stability. So Logan is back. He's going to draw me some cool things that'll make me laugh. Freaking Logan. Thank you guys, and that's it for me. I'm done. By the way, woot, 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 buzz, buzz, which is my T-shirt. One day I will explain this to everybody. And by the way, if you don't know, that is the Palomino right there, the spacecraft from the Black Hole over here. Black Hole movie from 1980. There's a big backstory behind this T-shirt as a designer. But nonetheless. All right. I'm done. I'm done, Chloe.
Okay.
You can take it from here.
I can't, actually. You have to go push the button that says we're done.
Oh, we got to go. Logan. Gosh, I love working here. It's awesome. No, leave that up, Logan. That's great. Sorry. That's. Oh, I love game development. It's the most awesome thing in the world. All right, because you can't do things what you can get away with. Anyway, I'm getting attacked by something. I'm going to quit before I die. Well, actually, Dartros took care of the plague wolf. Anyway, all right, I'm done, Chloe. Close this out. Oh, wait, I got to press the button. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you very much. See you all. I'm going to press the button. Really, Logan? Really? All right. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. All right, everybody, see you later.